For one reason or the other, buyers will just continue to be buyers. I've made countless videos on this channel about the fact that I do not exactly know what the buyers want or what the buyers do think when they go to an online shop, be it eBay, be it your personal online shop, be it on whatnot, on Facebook, wherever it might be. That is highly immaterial right now. But the thing is, I do not get it why buyers go onto a platform, go onto an expensive offer like a computer. I want to try to buy it and just decide for one reason or the other not to ask questions. I always say on this channel, a computer is not something that somebody just stumbles across buying. If you want to make an investment of buying a computer, this is not something you just wake up, from nowhere and decide, you know what, today I'm just going to buy this computer and I'm just going to buy it and that's just going to be it. No, it always has to start with you thinking of how much am I able to give out for this kind of item, because a computer in itself is not a cheap item. Sometimes it's going to be a major transaction for you in a particular month. Yes, because I'm talking with the assumption that a lot of people don't just have a lot of money to spend. So if you do not have a lot of money to spend, I want to believe that buying a computer is going to be a major investment for you, in any given month. And because of that, yes, it's something that you have to think about, before buying it. There are certain things or certain protocols that you actually need to observe before you go onto an online shop to buy a computer. First of all, is this computer going to meet your need? There are so many people out there, they need a computer for different things. Some do need a computer to actually edit their videos. Some need computers to, to edit their music. Some are into music. Some are into graphic designs. There are countless things. Some are into, computer programming. There are so many reasons why people might want to buy a computer. But then the thing that I do not understand is the fact that somebody wants to buy a computer. He or she doesn't ask any question, goes ahead to order the computer. And then as soon as the computer is delivered, in fact, less than 2 hours after the computer gets delivered, the buyer goes onto the online shop and wants to return the item. Literally 2 hours after the item gets delivered. And the reason being that the PC in this particular case doesn't allow for the installation of Windows 11 Professional. And this, once again, whenever it happens like this, kind of gets me pissed off, because this is something that can actually be resolved even before buying, the computer. If you want to buy, an expensive computer, especially a computer that you still have to go ahead to start doing all sort of installation, it makes a lot of sense to just go ahead, write the seller and ask these basic questions. The problem is that sometimes some people want to appear like they know everything. They do not want to be seen asking basic questions. But sometimes, if you understand what reselling is, you will understand that it's a very, very difficult job. I'm not talking to the resellers right now, because if you are a reseller of repute, you could pretty much confirm the fact that reselling is not actually as light as a lot of people think. A lot of people just think that reselling is a job for people that do not want to have a regular job. And because of that, for one funny reason or the other, reselling is easy. Guys, I'm here to tell you that, look, this is a very difficult job. It takes a lot of effort to actually get item. First of all, to buy the inventories takes a lot of effort. And then to put the inventories on a reputable online shop, that also takes a lot of effort. And then when the item sells, it takes a lot of effort to actually ship the items out, to the buyers. And to do this, there are a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of things that you have to take into considerations. There are a lot of care that you have to actually take to ensure that anybody that has gone online to buy your item receives the best item that you can possibly ship out. This takes a lot of work behind the scene. And then sometimes I have a feeling that the buyers actually do not see that this is anything. They just go online without thinking, go ahead, buy your stuff. And then for one flimsy reason or the other, they want to return it. They do not care the stress, the work you have put in. They do not care, the efforts that you have actually expended in making sure that the PC, in this case, gets delivered in the first place. They do not care. All they want to do is that they want to return the item. Even sometimes they want to return an item for just a little problem that can actually be fixed. They do not care the amount of money you wasted, in shipping the items. If you want to ship a PC that weighs about 10 kilograms right now, you are thinking of spending a minimum of 12 up to 15 euros, depending on the shipping company that you're actually using. And for my own case, I ship with DHL, one of the best service in Europe right now. And because of that, I naturally have to pay more than the other services out there. I do not want to mention names right now, but the thing is, I spend some decent amount of money making sure that my items are well shipped, making sure that whenever they get delivered, the customer will have a very good experience, which is the shipping will have a tracking. Not only that it has tracking, at least the items get delivered, safely in such a way that the buyer doesn't have to complain that the item got broken or destroyed during transportation. This is what I actually do to ensure that items, get delivered safely to the buyer. But the problem I have is that when people want to buy this stuff, sometimes they do not ask questions, and have constantly preached on this channel, even though they are not changing. It's also not going to stop me from talking about the fact that, look, if you want to buy anything that you're not so sure of, one little thing that you can actually do is just to go ahead and ask questions, because you can actually save the seller a lot of headache if you would just take the pain to ask questions. In fact, it's not only about you saving the seller some headache, you also save yourself a lot of stress, because if you ask questions and the buyer gets to reply you can actually decide there and then if this is a PC that's going to actually meet your need. And at this point, you can decide not to buy it. But if you do not ask questions and the PC gets delivered to you, it doesn't meet your need, you now have a situation where you have to waste more time in going back to eBay, for example, to initiate a return process. And not only that, you also have to physically take the item, in this case, to the post office and then ship it out. And sometimes you do not have time to do this, but because you want a refund of your money, the item needs to be brought to the post office. At the end of the day, you waste your time, you'll be angry about it, and at the end of the day, it's just not necessary. This is something that could have been avoided if you would have just taken a little time, say 2-3 minutes, write an email, trying to inquire if the item you are trying to buy is going to meet your need, and especially if you plan to modify, the item further. Go ahead and write an email to the seller. Hello, is this item going to be able to take this kind of memory? Is it possible to actually go ahead and install another operating system on this PC? Is it possible to do so and so upgrade? And you are definitely going to get, a responsible reply from the seller, because if the seller is a seller of repute, he or she understands the fact that whenever somebody is trying to know of a particular functionality of a PC that he or she is selling, it makes a lot of sense to reply, because you could actually stop a bad transaction from happening. If you do not reply, definitely you are giving buyers the opportunity to buy your stuff and then return it because it doesn't meet their need. And this is how it actually should be. Please, please, and please, if you are not so sure what you are buying, please ensure you ask questions. I'm kind of making this video because just a few days ago, I had the opportunity of selling a Fujitsu Esprimo PC, a very decent PC. And I was happy that the transaction had gone very, very decent, because buyer just went ahead, bought it. And then I was excited because when items sell, it's always one beautiful experience for the seller. Then I went into action, shipped the PC, made sure the PC was prepared, that whoever receives it was going to actually have a very beautiful time using the PC. But little did I know that this PC was going to be delivered, and in less than 2 hours after this PC was delivered, I got an email and the buyer simply said, sorry, I can't upgrade this PC to Windows 11. Because of that, I want to return it. I was like, what? Not again. Whenever this reason comes up, I'm always kind of angry, because if you do not know if your PC or whatever PC you are trying to buy is going to be able to install Windows 11, please, please, and please ask questions. You're going to save the seller a lot of headache if you just simply ask questions. The PC has been sent according to notification I received from eBay. I'm just hoping that the PC comes clean to me, because from my previous experience, if it's anything to go by, I have actually received PCs returned to me in very, very terrible condition. And once again, I'm going to be making video when the PC gets returned, just to see if the buyer actually was a responsible buyer or not. If the PC gets returned and nothing actually happens, I still get to lose some money, perhaps 10, 15, 20 euros. But if the PC comes in a bad condition, let's say the front blend is destroyed, there's a major destruction on the side panel just like that, or if the back of the PC for one reason or the other gets involved and something just destroys something, then I'm going to be losing quite a lot of money. This is part of the thing that makes it a little bit annoying. But at this point, I still can but hope that everything is just going to come the way it should be. I'm hopeful. Hopefully, I do not get disappointed, but then I have to do what I have to do, which is come here, use the platform I have to actually, make a passionate plea to the buyers. When you are not sure of what you are buying, help the sellers, because if you guys frustrate all the sellers from selling decent stuff on the internet, where then do you get these beautiful bargains? Because if every seller gets frustrated from the fact that buyers do not ask questions, they buy your item and want to return it because of something that could have been fixed at the very beginning, if the buyer could have just asked a little question, then sooner or later they're going to be frustrated. And if that happens, you, the buyer, are going to be worse off for it, because then you are forced to go ahead to buy new items and you're going to be parting with a lot of money. But if you have the opportunity to buy used items, especially for very good prices, price it that will see to it that you still have money to do other stuff, respect the sellers of these items, ask them questions when you are in doubt, and you can actually go ahead to save yourself a lot of stress if only you ask questions at the very beginning. I hope this video helps you. If you are a buyer, you are right now thinking of going to eBay to buy yourself a decent computer. Doesn't matter if it's a computer or any other item, perhaps household items. Please, if you are in doubt, go ahead and send an email. eBay is actually spending a lot of money to make sure that the messaging system goes as seamless as it should. A long time ago, it wasn't like this, but right now, if you're on mobile, if you're on computer, it's very easy for you at the click of a button to send an email to whoever is selling an item that you intend, to buy. Please use this feature. Do not overlook it and save the sellers a lot of stress occasioned by you wanting to return an item over an issue that could have been resolved before the item was ever bought. Until I see you again in the next one, peace.